Welcome back to Paper Highlighter. Today we're diving into one of the most talked about storylines from 90 Day Fiancé. And trust us, this one's heating up fast. Is Joan Kruchov secretly the franchise's biggest manipulator? From a chance meeting in Uganda to regrets in America, all signs are pointing to one shocking conclusion. Joan may be playing the longest game of all. Let's break down the clues. Joan Kruchov, a new cast member on 90 Day Fiancé, is quickly gaining notoriety as the season's most controversial figure. Viewers have been taken aback by the unfolding of her darker personality traits, which are steadily being revealed on screen. Originally from Kampala, Uganda, Joan first met Greg during his spontaneous visit to the country. Greg had decided to travel to Uganda after a chance encounter with a fellow plane passenger who owned a travel business there and encouraged him to explore the destination. Upon arrival, Greg met Joan within just 30 minutes, and the two quickly hit it off, bonding over personal stories, including Greg's weight loss journey. However, their budding connection was short-lived. The pair lost contact for more than a year until Joan unexpectedly reappeared in Greg's life by sending him a friend request on Facebook. Their renewed online communication soon blossomed into a long-distance romance, leading Greg to return to Uganda and propose to Joan on her birthday. Now residing in the United States on a K-1 visa, Joan's transition hasn't been smooth. She has openly voiced doubts about her decision to relocate and marry Greg, raising red flags for viewers and cementing her reputation as the season's most polarizing personality. Joan's actions have left Greg's mom feeling rejected and worthless. In a recent episode of 90 Day Fiancé, Joan Kruchov stirred up more controversy after a seemingly simple wedding dress errand turned into an emotionally charged moment between her and her future mother-in-law, Lucille. With Greg at work and no driver's license of her own, Joan needed a ride to the bridal shop to alter the dress she had brought from Uganda. She turned to Lucille for help. Though caught off guard and in the middle of cooking, Lucille agreed to take her. "You're going to be my daughter-in-law, so I need to help you," she said, trying to keep things positive despite the interruption. Lucille had hoped the dress fitting would serve as a bonding experience and eagerly looked forward to seeing Joan in her gown. "I'm looking forward to see Joan getting fitted in her wedding gown," she said optimistically. During the ride, she made small talk in an effort to connect. But when they arrived at the shop and Lucille offered to come inside, Joan gently declined. "I'd love to, but I'm going to be talking to my family," she explained, saying she wanted her sisters to be the first to see her in the dress. The comment, while polite, clearly stung. Lucille later confided in producers that she felt hurt and rejected by Joan's decision. "I must say it's hurtful," she admitted, visibly emotional. She had expected to be included in what she considered a meaningful moment, and being turned away left her feeling unappreciated. "I just felt rejected and worthless," she added. Joan didn't offer an apology, leaving Lucille to silently process her disappointment. Yet another sign of the growing emotional distance between the two women as the wedding approaches. Joan wants a hefty dowry from unemployed Greg. On 90 Day Fiancé, cultural expectations have put Greg in a difficult position as he navigates the traditional Ugandan custom of paying a bride price before marrying Joan Kruchov. As part of the marriage process, Joan asked Greg to provide 15 cows to her family, each valued at roughly 1.5 million Ugandan shillings, or about $200 apiece, bringing the total cost to around $3,000. For Greg, who is already facing financial challenges, the demand is a heavy burden. Despite knowing his financial situation, Joan insisted that the dowry is non-negotiable. She told producers that failing to pay the bride price would not only insult her family, but also dishonor the dying wish of her late father. "We can't get married," she stated bluntly, making it clear that the cultural obligation outweighs any personal compromise. The tension underscores the growing pressure on Greg, who must now weigh his financial reality against cultural expectations and his relationship with Joan. Was Joan really successful and wealthy in her country? Tensions continue to rise on 90 Day Fiancé as Joan Kruchov pushes Greg to take major financial steps he's clearly not ready for. Originally planning to stay with Greg's mother, Lucille, for just 3 to 6 months, Joan has now overstayed that timeline due to Greg's ongoing financial issues. Disillusioned by her experience in the U.S., a place she once viewed as a land of opportunities, Joan is growing increasingly frustrated.